forget robots just putting cars together. AI is changing how things are made, like way beyond just, automating those assembly lines.
Right.
We're talking AI that's making sure that the stuff that rolls off the line is as close to perfect as you can get.
Yeah,
And that is where Zetamotion comes in
it is.
with their platform, Spectron.
Yeah, they're really interesting.
So today we're doing a deep dive into Zetamotion and Spectron to see if they can actually do what they're promising.
Yeah.
We've got excerpts from their website today.
Okay.
There are pages about Spectron itself, AI and quality control, the evolution of manufacturing, and why you should choose them.
Yeah. And you know what I really appreciate about the way they've put this information together on their site is that they're not shying away from the challenges
Right.
of AI adoption. They're talking about the data, the integration issues.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Even just people being resistant to change.
Absolutely.
So I'm really curious to dig into how they're tackling that stuff.
Yeah. So let's imagine a factory floor, right?
Okay.
Products going down the line.
Yeah.
Inspectors are looking at everything, making sure there are no flaws.
That's a big job.
It's a huge job, and it's got to be so boring
And people mess up.
all the time.
So that's got to be where automation comes in, right?
Yeah.
But it's not just about replacing the inspectors.
Right.
It's about fixing those human errors.
For sure.
And that's what they're talking about in their AI and quality control
Yeah.
article, right? It's like the old way of doing things, even with some automation, can't keep up with how fast and complicated manufacturing is now.
Well, and they say that Spectron can detect defects with like 99.99% accuracy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which, come on, how is software that good?
Yeah, it's wild, right?
99.99. I mean, is anything that perfect?
Well, and that's where the synthetic data comes in.
Okay.
They're not using thousands of real images to train the AI, which takes forever
Right.
and costs a ton of money. They're basically simulating everything.
Wow.
So you just need one scan to train the AI.
One scan.
One scan.
That's it.
That's what they're saying.
That changes everything.
Right.
Speed and efficiency, totally different ballgame.
Totally.
And that's what we're all about, right?
Yeah, nobody wants to do things the slow way anymore.
Like reading a textbook when you could just use an app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when things change quickly, like they always do, you got to be able to keep up to adapt.
For sure. And they are all about that, right? Like being adaptable and staying ahead of the game.
Yeah, that seems to be a big focus for them for sure.
So this AI, it's like learning super fast.
Right.
Like it doesn't need a ton of info. But what about like actually using it? What can it do?
Well, they talk about system freeze
System freeze?
and configurable reporting on the Spectron page of their website. And that system freeze thing, that's a big deal.
Okay, also.
So say
Yeah.
you're making something,
Okay.
okay? And Spectron knows it perfectly, right? But now you're going to change it up a little. Maybe a different size or you add something to it.
Mm-hmm.
System freeze lets you stop the AI from learning for a minute.
So it's not freaking out that the product changed on it?
Exactly. It's like, hold on, AI, this is supposed to be different. It's cool.
That makes sense. I
Yeah.
can see why that matters.
Because if it thinks the new thing is a defect, it'll stop everything.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Especially when you're trying to make something new, you know? It's like telling your AI, chill out, this is on purpose.
So that system freeze, what about that reporting thing you said? Configurable or something?
Yeah, so every factory's got their own systems, their own language, right?
Yeah.
This means Spectron can speak that language too.
Oh, so you don't have to like teach your whole factory a new system.
Right. Spectron just fits in, gives you the reports in a way that makes sense for you.
That's way better than having to like start from scratch with some new software.
Oh, totally. And they get that, Zetamotion.
Yeah.
I mean, they're all about making life easier, not harder.
Yeah, I noticed they talk about being a partner, not just some software company.
Yeah, lasting partnerships. That's what they call it.
It's almost like they're helping companies evolve.
Which is kind of what they were saying about manufacturing in general, right?
Yeah, like it's always changing.
They were comparing it to the invention of pottery even, like going way back.
It's true, though. Manufacturing has always been about doing things better, faster,
They said AI is like the next step in that.
and they're not afraid of it.
No, they're embracing it.
It's like instead of just making a ton of the same thing, now we can make a ton of different things, all personalized.
Mass customization.
Exactly. But you can't do that with the old way of checking for defects,
It would be impossible.
trying to count grains of sand.
They had this example on their site, this company SteelX, I think.
Oh, yeah. What happened to them?
So they get this fancy automated system.
Okay. Sounds good so far.
Yeah. But then they started making this new product line, all different textures and stuff,
Oh.
and their system just couldn't keep up.
Everything got messed up.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It was flagging everything as a defect because it didn't know any better.
So what did they do?
Zetamotion to the rescue. They came in with Spectron, analyzed everything super fast,
Mm.
like 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And they figured out all these different quality checks, like 30 of them.
See, that's what AI can do, right? It can adapt.
The old systems just weren't built for that.
So they were able to save the day because their AI can actually adapt to new information.
Yeah. And they did it fast, too. Like, that's a game changer for any company trying to keep up with, the market.
Absolutely. So it sounds like Zetamotion Spectron. I mean, it's really powerful stuff. But one thing that I kept thinking about as I was reading through all their materials was how much they focus on the human element.
Over totally.
Like they're not just saying, here's our perfect software, bye.
It's not just about the tech, right?
Yeah. They're talking about support and I think they even use the phrase real people, real care, which is kind of nice to see.
Yeah, you don't always get that.
It makes a difference. Because even with the best tech in the world, it's reassuring to know there are actual humans who can help if you need it.
Right, like, what was that thing we were talking about before? Data security.
Oh, yeah.
I bet that's a big concern for a lot of companies.
Huge.
But knowing there's someone there to help if something goes wrong,
Totally.
that's going to be huge.
For sure. So, okay, we've talked a lot about Zetamotion and Spectron today. What are the, big takeaways here? What do you want people to remember?
Well, I think the main thing is AI is not some far-off thing anymore. It's here. It's changing how things work, and Zetamotion is leading the way.
Yeah.
Like with quality control, they're showing everyone what the future looks like.
Faster, better, and way more adaptable.
And they're not just throwing the tech over the wall. They want to be your partner, help you through it.
And they're not trying to replace anyone. It's more like giving people better tools to do their jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were saying, AI should be there to help people, not get rid of them.
Okay, so before we go, I want to leave everyone with something to think about. We talked about Zetamotion's tagline.
Yeah. Perfect data, perfect product.
Yeah, perfect data, perfect products. But what happens when we take that idea of perfection outside the factory? If AI can make our products perfect, what does that mean for how we use technology, what we buy, even just our idea of what quality is?
That's a great question. And I think it's something we're all going to be thinking about more and more as AI becomes, a bigger part of our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into AI-powered quality control. Thanks for joining us.